What should your draft strategy be from each part of the first round? Also, is Eugenio Suarez playing shortstop for the Reds this season? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5, a podcast that gets you caught up fast on the fantasy news and advice that you need to know. Follow and stream us on Spotify and anywhere else podcasts are found. Today is Tuesday, March 16th. I am Frank Sample, joined by Scott White. And if you have an early pick, let's say the 1 to 4 range, how are you looking to attack the early rounds, Scott?
So in a Roto League, 5x5 leagues, you're looking at 4 hitters in particular, can make a big contribution across the board, especially in stolen bases. These are guys like Ronald Acuna, Mookie Betts, Fernando Tatis, and of course Juan Soto. And then having already gotten a big hitter, having already taken a bite out of stolen bases, round 2 and 3, I'm probably looking at a big pitcher. If Aaron Nola lasts that long, that's great. Also, Jack Flaherty, Clayton Kershaw. Like, those are the kind of pitchers I'm looking at. If they're all gone by the time it gets to round 3, then maybe I take a Corey Seager. Maybe I take a DJ LeMahieu. Maybe even like Alex Bregman or Anthony Rendon.
How about in a points league, Scott?
In a points league, you could go with the big 3 pitchers right off the top. And then the first hitter I have in that format is Juan Soto. Rounds 2 and 3 look the same. Even more of an emphasis on starting pitcher, probably.
If you're drafting in the middle part, in the 5 to 8 range, what are you thinking about doing there in both a Roto and a points league perspective?
So in Roto, this is probably where those 3 pitchers come into play, being Shane Bieber, Jacob deGrom, and Garrett Cole in some order. In the second round, I don't really love the hitters there, so I'm probably starting out pitcher in that scenario. I'm probably coming back with a Yu Darvish, Lucas Giolito, maybe an Aaron Nola, maybe even Luis Castillo if those guys are gone. Round 3, I'm still thinking about the same thing. Less likely I'm going to take a pitcher there because those ones I mentioned earlier are all gone. But Corey Seager, Alex Bregman, Anthony Rendon, hope one of those are there in the middle of round 3. Points league, it's going to be similar, just you're going to take a hitter in the first round because the pitchers are already gone. Juan Soto, like I said, is my favorite hitter, but also Mike Trout, Mookie Betts are great in that format. And then probably go pitcher in round 2, 3.
And maybe 4, 5 as well. We love getting pitchers in those head-to-head points leagues, especially when you have that anchor as a hitter on your points league team. If you're drafting towards the end of the first round, Scott, anywhere picked 9 to 12, what are you looking to do there from both a Roto and a points league perspective?
Well, presuming Mike Trout is gone, Trey Turner in Roto 5x5 league, those would be, after the players I already mentioned, the ones that go. Really, when you get into the late stages of that first round, you're talking about Jose Ramirez, Christian Yelich, Trevor Story, who also are capable of contributing in the steals as along with everything else. Again, I think you got to really hit pitcher hard in rounds 2 and 3 if you go with the hitter in round 1. And I think it's more likely you'll do it in round 3 because by this point, it's a good chance Corey Seager's gone. Those 2 third basemen, maybe definitely LeMahieu. So really go pitcher. I think that's the most likely scenario. If you pick really late, then maybe you could go pitcher in round 1. You could get like a Trevor Bauer or Yu Darvish and maybe go pitcher to start out. And then the hitters you're looking at around 3 become, obviously you haven't addressed the stolen base need yet. So you'd look at Adalberto Mondesi at the end of round 3. You'd look at Whit Merrifield, Ozzie Albies maybe. If they are all gone, maybe you look at like a Marcelo Ozuna, Eloy Jimenez, get a leg up in those power categories. But it's likely, either you're taking a speedster in round 3 and a slugger in round 4, or if you can only get one, you can't get the speedster in round 3, then there's a good chance I'm taking a third pitcher in round 4, be it Kenta Maeda or Carlos Carrasco. Points league, we're still hitting pitcher hard here. I think the biggest difference for a points league is in round 3. There's a good chance like an Alex Bregman or Rendon will make it to you late in round 3.
Let's just wrap up with this report that Eugenio Suarez is going to play shortstop for the Reds on Tuesday. He did play shortstop back in 2018, and even before that, earlier in his career. What are some of the trickle-down effects that this could have for fantasy baseball?
Yeah, it seemed like he outgrew the position, but they have a dire need there, and they're really excited about Jonathan India, former 5th overall pick, good on base skills, showed more power at the alternate training site last year, having a big spring. They want to slot him in at second. Moustakas could move from second to third, if Suarez is able to play shortstop. But I think they're just testing it out right now. They're really motivated to get India up is what I think it's all about. I don't know if it would be on an everyday basis that they'd go with this, but shortstop eligibility for Suarez would be pretty sweet.
That would be sweet indeed. And we love prospects. So if we can get another one on our fantasy baseball teams, let's make it happen. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. This is your audio outlet for fantasy news and advice in just 5 minutes. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.